This is the 2014 CDL pre-trip for the state of Kentucky and Ohio. We're going to start at the top of the bus, and we're going to do this in sections. It's the easiest way to remember without leaving any parts of the bus out. We are going to start with the exhaust system, which starts at the top of the bus and goes all the way through the engine compartment. There is a key, which is also your door handle, which we'll go over later in our presentation, but you need this key with you at all times when you're doing the outside of the bus to open up all the panels. As you just seen, I opened up the rear panel, and here's your exhaust, and it goes all the way down this area and around this way. And again, for the examiner, you need to tell him that there is no rust, soot, and all the brackets and clamps are tight and secure. At this time, we're going to open the rear compartment door. And again, it's just best to start from the left to the right, and that way you don't forget anything. You're going to start here. This is the radiator sight glass. Again, don't get hung up on terminology. Your manual will say coolant sight glass. You can say either one as long as the terminology means the same thing. Again, you want to look at these two globes to make sure that they are filled. They should be green in color, and again, there should be no leaks, and the coolant sight glasses should be tight and secure. Again, you're going to tell the examiner that you have a transmission oil fill and an oil fill for your coach. The oil fill is in yellow, and the transmission dipstick is silver. You will want to ask the examiner if he would like for you to pull them out to demonstrate they are at the full line. Transmission oil. Again, while you're on this side of the coach, you want to tell the examiner that all the wires are bundled and all the clamps are tight and securely, and there is no bolts or nuts missing. These are your hoses, as well as on your radiator access globes. You want to make sure that all your hoses are tight and secure with no cracks or bulges, and again, your hoses should not be leaking at all. At this time, I'm going to get my key. We are going to open the engine access panel. It has two keyholes. You have to open both to get this panel to open. Again, on this side, you have wires. Again, you have to tell them that they are bundled correctly and that the wires are not frayed or damaged. You also have to tell them about any hoses, which are back in here. Again, they're hard to see. I'll show you that when we get to the other panel, but they should not be cracked, split, or leaking, and their clamps should be tight and secure. You start up here. This is your alternator. As you can see, the alternator is belt driven. You need to tell, very important, you tell the examiner that this belt has no more than 3/4 inch of play from center. Then you have your power steering pump. Again, if you follow this blue hose right here to the back of your engine, and again, I can show you that, your water pump on this little bubble right here, that's where that blue hose goes to the back and connects to this little bubble right here. Again, as you can see, it is belt driven, and again, it should not be any more than 3/4 inch of play from center. Down on the bottom and in the back, again, it'll be easier to show from the other side. We have our air compressor, and that is very important to tell them that the air compressor is gear driven. Here you have your AC unit. Again, you can tell that it is belt driven, and again, there should be no wear or tear on the belts, and there should be no more than 3/4 inch play from center. Again, now we're going to shut this back up, lock it down, because you will be taking this bus on a skills and road test. You want to make sure all your panels are secure. If you're a short person, you can grab this cable right here to pull this one back down. And again, you want to make sure that it is locked into place. Okay, on the top of your bus, you'll notice that all your lights are red all the way down to the bottom of your bus, except for these two reverse backup lights, which are white. So you will tell your examiner that all your lights are red and white in color, and that the lenses are not cracked or broken, and all your lights are operational. This is the rear of your coach. You want to make sure you tell the examiner that the bus is level. You want to look underneath the bus, make sure that there is nothing leaking or hanging from the rear of your coach. At that point, we will, okay, again, we're starting on the curb side of the bus. Again, you will need your key. You will open this side and this side. Pull this panel open. Again, this is going to clarify some of the stuff we went on the engine panel that we opened in the back. There's a silver hose. If you follow it all the way up to the back of this unit, that would be your air compressor. Again, that is gear driven. This is your transmission reservoir. Again, it's got a dipstick on the top. You do not have to take this out. Again, here's your wires and hoses and your AC unit. Again, it is much clearer on this side. It is belt driven. Here is your air tanks, one here, and again that silver hose goes back to the air compressor. If you come over on this side, you can see the shock absorbers. They are white canisters, and your airbags. Again, while you are down here, you should tell the examiner you are listening for any air leaks in your air brakes or air suspension system. Again, you have your mud flaps right here. They should be tightly secured and not damaged. Again, on your rear tires, if you start at the top and work your way down, you will not miss anything. You should not have any more than 2/32 in every major groove. Your sidewall should be properly inflated, and also it has 110 pounds of air pressure. On the sidewall, there should be no cracks or bulges or no air leaks. Then you come to your rim. Again, on your rim, there should be no rust, cracks, or damage, or no welds on the rim. You have your valve stem, which is right here. It's on the rear. It's very long, so it's easy to see. It should have a cap, and again, there should be no air leaks in the valve stem. These are your lug nuts. They should all be tight and secure. There should be no rust or rust trails, and all your nuts should be tight, and they all should be present. This is your hub oil seal or oil seal, whichever you call it is fine. Again, you should make sure all your nuts are present and that they are tight and secure with no rust trails, and that there is no oil or grease coming out from underneath the seal. Again, this bus on the rear has 2 tires, so it does not have spacers, but they are properly aligned. Back here, at this point, it's going to be hard to see, but your instructor will take you back to maintenance to Roger Dawson, and he will point out everything that I am getting ready to tell you. The bus will be up on a hoist, and it'll make more sense to you. But back here you have your longitudinal frame. All the bolts should be present, and there should be no cracks in the longitudinal frame. You also have slack adjusters. Slack adjusters should have no more than ½ an inch of play when you're doing them manually. You also do not have leaf springs or coil springs in the rear of the coach or in the front of the coach. You will tell them that at all 4 wheels. This time, we're going to shut this rear panel. And again, you will lock them down with your key, but you have all your lights that go from the rear to the front of your coach. They are all red, amber, and white in color. You only have to tell the examiner that once. Again, they are all clear, not cracked or broken, and operational. This is your fuel tank. Again, you actually want to reach in, turn the cap to show the examiner that it is locked. Again, you want to look underneath here at this time. Again, Roger will show this when the bus is hoisted, but there is a strap that holds your fuel tank in, and the strap should not be hanging and should be properly secure. Again, at this time, you're looking to make sure that there is no leaks from your fuel system. Again, as you can see, you also have windows the length of your coach. Again, at this time, you want to tell the examiner that all your glass is clean, not cracked or broken. We are now at the rear door. Again, the rear door panes are clean, not cracked or broken. You want to pull on the door to show the examiner that the door has proper tension and that the rubber is not frayed or damaged. So that is one of your emergency access panels, which we'll show you when we get inside the coach. We are going to continue down the coach to the front tire. On the front tire, we only have 1 tire. Okay, we're getting ready to go inside the coach to do your inside pre-trip. One thing I encourage you to not forget before you step inside the coach is to ask your examiner while you're out here to help you assist in checking your turn signals, your headlights, and your brake lights, and your rear backup lights. If not, you will get several points taken off if you forget to do this. Again, you have several opportunities to tell the examiner. You can do it when you're in the rear of the coach, you can do it in the front of the coach, or you can do it, I believe your notes tells you to mention it before you go inside the coach. At this time, we are going to open the coach doors and step on the inside of the bus. Again, on the inside, you got to treat it as a totally different aspect of the pre-trip. Some of the stuff I'm going to tell you now is going to be repeated as if you did it on the outside. But again, this is the inside, so you have to basically do deja vu. So we're going to start up here in the front. You have 3 mirrors, and you can also point to the one in the back since you're doing mirrors from this point and tell him that they're all clean, not cracked or broken, and they are tightly secured. Again, you have 2 windshields and a driver's window. Again, they should all be clean, not cracked or broken, and then no stickers to obstruct your view. Again, at this point, you have this panel right here above your head. Again, you would take your key and open up this panel. It has 3 knobs on it. They all turn to the left. And you'll want to tell the examiner that this coach does not have any fuses, but they do have circuit breakers. That's all what all these are. Again, we should never touch them as operators. That's a maintenance job. But it is part of your pre-trip, and you do need to tell them that. Again, behind the driver's seat, you cannot forget your emergency equipment. You have 3 warning triangles. Again, they are red, amber, and black in color. There should be 3. Also, you have a fire extinguisher right here, which is an ABC fire extinguisher. It is fully charged. You can tell that by this meter. It has a pull pin, and on this card right here, it has the date that it was last charged, and it has to be a current date. Now we are going to proceed to the back of the coach. Again, this is your standee line. No passenger should be in front of that when the bus is moving. Again, you have your handrails. They should all be secure and tight, and your hand straps should be secure and tight. You have two emergency ventilation systems. This is emergency exit, and also for ventilation, you have one in the front and one in the back. You will have to demonstrate one to the examiner. We'll do the one in the back because it's the lowest and the easiest to reach. Again, we have two handicap seats. As you can see, you do not have to demonstrate anything back here, but you do got to make sure that you lift the U-bolts on both seats and make sure all your seats are properly secure and none of the brackets are broken. Again, you have your chimes, which will demonstrate when we're up in the driver's seat and the coach is on. Continue on the back of the bus to make sure all your seats and handrails are secure. Again, you want to point out to the examiner when you get to the middle of the bus that these are emergency windows. They have red handles and emergency placards telling you how to use them. You have to demonstrate one window, and you open and close, and it slams and shuts itself back. Again, in the back door, more emergency features. This is your door release for the back. You pull that, break that glass, which is plastic, and pull that handle. Again, you got to make sure that the rear door area is clean of any debris or tripping hazards, as well as your whole aisleway. Again, if you missed your mirror in the front, it's a good time to mention it in the back. Again, clean, not cracked or broken. Your steps are marked with emergency lights. They are amber in color, and they are marked in English and in Spanish. Again, back here, your instructor, it's going to be hard to put on film, but you turn this little knob to exit, and you push up, and it should fly. Push the red button up, and it lays back on the hood of the bus. To re-secure it, this is the part that your instructor. Okay, this is your rear emergency exit and ventilation system. Again, you turn this to exit, push the red button, and the exit hatch goes to the rear of the coach on a cable. This is the part you're going to have your instructor show you. It's going to be hard to put on film, I believe. Is again, you got to get this all lined up till it pops, and then go back to latch, and then you pull it straight down. Again, at this point in time, what you're going to do is, if you feel you have forgotten anything, is again just double check yourself. Handrails, seats, aisleway. Again, if you forgot to tell your examiner that all your emergency exits are marked with red handles and placards and lights, it's a second time that you can go back and think. Again, you have 30 minutes to do this. By the time you go take your test, you'll be doing this in your sleep, and you'll have plenty of time to sit back and think about what you missed. You have a kneeling light, a ramp light, and a front door light. Again, as you can see, they are amber and white in color. They should be clean, not cracked or broken. The same thing on your front doors or rear. You want to make sure your entryway is clear of any debris or tripping hazard. You want to make sure the door has proper tension and the rubber has no frays or damage. At this point, we're going to the front of the bus. The differences in the front of the bus from the rear of the bus is all your lights are amber and white in color. You have two windshields. They should be clean, not cracked or broken, and very important to tell the examiner there is no stickers to obstruct your view. You have windshield wipers. You have to pull them away from the glass, make sure they have good tension, and that the wiper blades are not frayed or damaged.